Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have our very first look at the legendary Russian destroyer, the Khabarovsk. So, let's get into it. Our commander is going to be Vladimir Trubetskoy. We are using Eric Bay and Jerzy Swirsky as the two inspirations. We have Observant Rage, we have Look at Me Now, Twist and Track, and Smoke on the Water, and we are also running Unstoppable. If we look at the ship itself, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Steering Gears Mod 3, and we are running Main Battery Mod 3. Now, what does all this mean? We also running our, I didn't realize that you could get a heal on this thing. That's nice. I just now saw that. Would I take the heal over the smoke? Probably. But as of right now in this match, you'll see me with the smoke, so I'll leave it on the smoke for now. We are using the Epic Battle Booster to get a little bit extra range out of it, and we are running the CC Camo. A lot of people ask me about the CC Camo. The only way to get the CC Camo is to be a CC. It's not currently available for anybody else to get at the moment. Maybe that'll change in the future. Alright, Survivability, 22,500 hit points. Now, you could max this out even more by adding, like, William Sims as an inspiration or Hyde. Hyde actually gets you more hit points for one inspiration. If they're both the same level, like, Hyde will get you more hit points than Sims. But if you put both of them on there, I don't know what your hit points would be, but you'd have a lot. Artillery, you have 8 130mm guns that reload in 4 seconds. And have a range of 12.7 kilometers. 180-degree turn time's not bad at 9 seconds. HE shell damage of 1900 with an 8% chance to set fires, and AP damage of 2600. Now, I will say this. Do not be afraid of your AP. Seriously. I got lulled into the whole trying to start fires, but the AP on this thing is fantastic. And you'll see that in action in a little bit against some broadside ships. But torpedoes, you might as well not even have torpedoes. They're 6-kilometer range. You don't really want to be getting inside 6 kilometers too often in this thing. They're only 533 millimeters, so you're not even going to be... Well, they're 19,500 damage, so they're really good 533 millimeters. But again, 6-kilometer range, they're pretty slow at 58 knots. It's just not... You don't want to be using torpedoes very often in this thing, unless you absolutely have to, or if you're setting up ambushes. Maneuverability, 44.3 knots without our engine boost running. That is fantastic. Now, the turning circle is horrendous. The rudder shift, because as you saw, we had to go with the extra rudder shifts, we're down to 6.4 seconds. It was 10 seconds with my normal concealment build. If I use a straight concealment build, where in the third slot I use the concealment system mod rather than the steering gears mod 3, that rudder shift is 10 seconds, and it is horrendous. Horrendous. You can't dodge nothing in that thing. Now, once the ship starts to turn, it seems to turn relatively decent. It just takes forever to start turning. So the 6.4 seconds is manageable. I don't mind that near as much. But our concealment lacks. So instead of having 5.6 kilometers detectability, we have 6.2 kilometers detectability. That's really only ever going to matter when you're up against a destroyer, because the other destroyers are going to have the edge on you. We're basically right now at the concealment of an American destroyer. Okay, it's not good. But if you could, you're faster than every other destroyer, I believe, or at least close to comparable speeds, if not faster, than most of the other destroyers. So, generally speaking, you get close enough to spot them without them being able to turn away. You know what I'm saying? And with this thing being as good as it is at destroyer killing, like, there's nothing that stands against it, period. Akizuki, no chance. Le Fantasque, no chance. Kagero, Udachi, Fletcher. Fletcher I would be interested in, but it still doesn't have the hit points, so I'm going to say probably no chance. Z-23, no chance. You're going to see all of this in the fight to come, or at least some of them anyway. So you'll see what I mean. This thing absolutely obliterates destroyers, and it's got the hit points. And it does really well with AP. So, there's all kinds of good things. Is it for me? Nah, it's growing on me. The first couple matches I was miserable, but once I figured out I needed some more steering and all of that stuff, not so bad. Sure shot. Shells with good Shells with a good ballistic trajectory maintain velocity, making aiming easier. That is pretty decent. That's Russian mostly. It's flat aiming shells, so they tend to get to the target much quicker, making it easier to hit them, especially other destroyers. Fast, above average maximum movement speed, we already talked about that. Nimble aim, above average main battery traverse speed. Being able to traverse your turrets 180 degrees in 9 seconds is nice. Khabarovsk. The ship was designed as a destroyer flotilla leader. No destroyer in the world could rival her in terms of speed. While her armor and the power of her artillery were comparable to those of light cruisers, dual-purpose main guns and a battery of automatic AA guns ensured a strong AA defense. She was designed in 1936. So, again, she sits up high in the water. That's the first thing that I notice. Not quite as high as the Shima, but it still sits pretty high in the water, so it is pretty easy to hit. However, it's a good-looking ship, and like I said, it is growing on me. The first couple matches I had in this thing were pretty rough. I got some damage, but I was struggling, especially because you can't disengage because everybody's able to hit you no matter what. You can't dodge their rounds, which in a destroyer should be the easiest thing in the world. But, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are going to be on Two Brothers. That's right, not Sleeping Giant, not Sea of Fortune, and it's not even a domination. I don't know what I did to deserve this kind of game today, but I appreciate it. But anyway, we're going to be spawning in the north, and we're going to go down our right side and see what we can get into. Now, like I said, the first few games that I had in this ship were a little iffy. Once I've gotten the steering kind of situated, it's not as bad. But, yeah, it's definitely something that you want to consider. Also, I completely forgot in the first couple matches to put camo on this thing. So, that helps a little bit. Just a little bit. But we're going to push out to the right. We're going to see if we can find them. Now, we do have twist and track, and as you can see, there are people out here close to us. I mean, we know that there's going to be people spawning directly across from us anyway. This is usually the busiest side of this map. So, we want to get out ahead of everybody and see if we can't get into an early fight with a destroyer. Now, you got to be careful, especially early on, getting into fights, because everybody can focus you. You guys know more than anybody. I mean, you've seen the videos where I just get absolutely annihilated by everybody on streams or whatever. So you got to watch and try to avoid being the center of attention. Now, we're launching towards the Alaskan M. They're out of range, but what I'm doing is actually trying to put a barrier out there to maybe find, and we get detected right off the bat. But then here's where this ship really does come into its own, and that is killing other destroyers. The Le Fantasque is like, I'm the biggest, baddest ship in the world. I can take you. You really can't, Sunshine. You may have used your reload booster, but that burns out pretty quickly, and you're about to have a real bad day. Watch as I finally start to actually hit him. It takes me a couple shots, not gonna lie, he's at a weird angle, but as soon as I get you dialed in, you're in a world of trouble. And you don't have a smoke screen, so we're gonna be able to punch him real hard, real fast, get him burning. And you can see he's kind of slowed down. I don't know if we knocked out his engine or what, or if he's just thinking that we'll start missing him. Maybe he's like, if I stop and stay very steady, nobody can see me. You're wrong. I can still see you. But he did stop firing, which means he's going to get outside of range pretty soon, and he's going to disappear. Now, up to that point, I mean, we took a little bit of damage early on from the Le Fantasque, but we punched him in the mouth. Did over 11,000 damage of his hit points. The Kagero that's with us was shooting at him too, which, in fairness, I mean, Kageros aren't known for actually using their guns, so I do appreciate that. But there's a couple times in this video that we're going to be kind of negative against this Kagero, because he just doesn't use his torps. It's like the only Kagero I've ever seen that doesn't want to torp anything. And that was a thing in the last match, too, I played previous to this one, where I had a Shimakaze right next to me. We get rid of the Wichita real early, and then he just kind of sits back behind me the entire game instead of going out and using his 15 torpedoes. Like, you've got 15 torpedoes, use them. But, you know, to each their own. Anyway, we're going to push up. We're going to try to get into here, and me and the Kagero just kind of do a little scissor action right here. Just come right around one another. Completely, what is the word I'm looking for? Calculated. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, we're going to push up because I have a feeling there's another destroyer out here. You see where my twist and track is headed? We know the Lay Fantastic is still out here, but I don't think the Lay Fantastic is the closest one. I think he bailed. And as you can see, I'm charging straight in with my engine boost running because I want to close the distance. I don't want to give these guys a chance to get away. And there's the Z-23. 4.6 kilometers before I got him detected. That's ridiculous. I didn't think the Z-23 was that sneaky. But look how quickly we just absolutely melt him. Now again, we're getting some help from the Kagero. He's getting some decent hits in. But we are just melting this man. And Z-23 and Lay Fantastic come back thinking they've got this. And unfortunately for them, they are wrong. I finish off Z-23 and then immediately finish off Lay Fantastic, showcasing who the #1 gunboat in World of Warships Legends is now. Akizuki may have held the title for just a couple of seconds here, but no, this is definitely way better. I took an Akizuki from full health down to nothing very quickly. Like, he was hitting me back, but honestly, he didn't do nothing compared to what I was doing to him. Those 100mm guns just don't pack the punch. These are 130mm guns that are reloading every 4 seconds. Now, we're going to try to get some shots on the Yami. You can see I'm using my smoke as best I can, but these guys are going to quickly get outside of my range, unfortunately. We do get a fire right off the bat. Like I said, this thing is fully capable of setting good fires. But, as you'll see in a little while, it's also fully capable of just being absolutely brutal with armor piercing. So we take a little bit of a hit there from the Alaska. We're moving forward, trying to dodge some of the other rounds, stay hidden. And then that first shot on the Alaska, watch it. Fire right off the bat. 1 good hit, 2 shatters, and a fire. That's not bad. That's not bad. This thing is the opposite of the Akizuki when it comes to starting fires. This thing starts fires all day, every day. And it has the health to take the hits, and it also has the rate of fire to deal with any of those fast-firing destroyers. As you saw with the Z-23, the Lay Fantastic. This thing can stand toe-to-toe with any destroyer out there, and 99% of the time, with regards to just whoever's controlling this thing, screwing it up, 99% of this time, this ship will win a gunfight. That's the way it's going to go. Now, we're going to go ahead and showcase just how nasty this thing can be against the Hipper, too. Broadside on, we're going to test the AP a little bit here in a moment. We do get a good hit with the HE right off the bat. We get another decent hit. He's firing AP at me because, I don't know, maybe he thought that was the best. I mean, he's hitting me, but the amount of damage he'd have done with HE versus AP was much better in his favor. We get a couple good hits on the AP, and that was really the first chance I've had to use AP on a ship. And so that's going to come into play a little bit later on as well. Now, Kagero's getting a little too close. We temporarily knock out the Hipper's torpedo tubes on the left side of his ship. And we're going to try to get him finished. We're not finishing him. Come on, he's getting out of range. Spartan, you got to hit him. Come on. Finish him. Got him. No! Alaska yoinks it. Alaska yoinks it. I don't know if it's really a yoink. He probably did more damage to that guy than I did. But we're up to 54,000 damage done. And we've already got a double strike, so we're doing okay. Now here we see the Kagero finally getting out there, starting to throw some torps at these guys instead of letting them sit out there. I don't have torps that are long enough range to catch these guys. So I have to do it from a distance. I'm using the island to shoot over top of the island, try to set some fires on the Yami. Yami had just burned his damage control not too long ago, so if we can get some fires, that would be a good time. Now, I'll be honest, if I had been shooting AP this whole time on this guy while he's broadside like this, you'd be surprised at how much damage you can do. I'm not joking. Like, this thing is really good with HE, or AP. HE's good too, but Yami sits broadside to a Kagero a little too long, and that's going to catch up to him. We've already got him burning. He's got torps about to absolutely punch him in the mouth, and there goes all of his hit points. Now, Alaska is firing at, I guess, the Alaska that's behind me. We are going to get rammed here, unfortunately. It's kind of my fault, but also somewhat his fault, but kind of my fault at the same time. I wasn't paying attention to where he was. Last I seen him, he was further back, but he's been charging forward. But we're going to try to go here. We're going to be broadside on, and we're going to kind of run into the island here. But we're also going to be waiting to use our smoke because we don't want to use the smoke yet. We still have cover. And we want to catch this Yami when he comes around. Now, our Kagero goes down. which is unfortunate. But Yami's about to come around the corner, and as soon as he does, we're going to start unloading on him. So while we're waiting, we just go ahead and start shooting the Alaska. We get another immediate fire. Yami's coming out broadside, so we're going to go ahead and punch the smoke. And actually, he's bow tanking us at the moment, so we're going to try to use the HE and see if we can get a fire that way. And we do get an immediate fire, even though we shattered 7 rounds on him. We get an immediate fire, which is what I'm saying. Like, this thing's fired, no joke. But, you know, Yami's a big ship. It's hard for it to stop. And this is where we get to test the AP. Now, that first shot was HE, but this shot from here on out is going to be AP. And watch these salvos. There we got 3,400 damage. And you can see I'm shooting high on the ship. That shot was a little weird. I was getting a little bit of lag in this match, too. But that shot was a little weird. We're trying to hit higher up into the ship, and then we'll shoot towards the nose as well, up into the bow of the ship, and see if we can't hit that. But you can see he's already in reverse. He's realized the error of his ways. But the torps aren't what he's got to worry about. Yeah, he sees the torps, but they're going to run out before they get to him. And then he's going to take a breath of fresh air, but it's too late. I'm already doing enough damage that I will kill him very quickly. Like, these things don't mess around. You can see 800 damage per hit on him. And that's going to do it. Goodbye, Yami. And with that, we're up to 108,000 damage done. Alaska behind me, I'm about like, hey, dude, do you got your radar? And then he explodes. That's how that works. I'm like, hey, do you have your radar, Alaska? I'd like to see what's around the corner. And then he dies. Yep. It's just, you can't make it up. Now, here's my mistake. All right? Sometimes you got to know when to disengage. I was so confident with my armor piercing at this point. When I see this Alaska getting ready to come out of the backside of this island broadside, I was salivating. I know that I've left myself no exit. I am up against an island. The only way out of this is to turn and hope for the best. But I know my smoke's about to run out. We're going to spot this guy, and he's flat broadside, just begging for it. And I'm like, we're going to Citadel the snot out of him. Unfortunately, we don't Citadel the snot out of him. We get a lot of penetrations, but he's got 305mm guns, and they're armed with high explosive. And he just punches us. There goes all of our remaining hit points. And, yeah, unfortunately, he's able to do enough damage to us that when we do realize that we need to get moving and start trying to finish him off, then the guy that's all the way in the back, you see the turning of this ship, again, coming into the problem here. Our guy ends up just missing the torpedoes, and we're not able to finish off the Alaska. And that is actually going to be the end of this for our team. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw this Amagi back here in the back, I got real salty. I got real salty. This guy deserves every comment that anybody can leave. Like, I'm not... this is the worst type of player that you can imagine. Now, I'm not trying to name and shame him. I don't care. But seriously, dude, you're in a full health Amagi, and you've been sitting in the back the entire game, doing absolutely nothing. Now, the Lightning here has tried to do stuff. He is getting some damage. He's going to finish off that battleship over there. Iowa goes down. And he's got an Otago bearing down on him. He's got a destroyer, unbeknownst to him, that is also going to be bearing down on him. He makes the wrong choice here of going towards the Otago. Like, I get it. You really want to get rid of the guy. But you cannot charge, especially with low health. That is a Japanese cruiser. Japanese cruisers, especially the Otago, always got HE loaded. They will nuke you so fast, it's ridiculous. That HE for Japanese ships is nasty. But as you can see, he's throwing his smoke. He's not doing anything with his smoke. It's not like he's sitting in his smoke. He's just throwing his smoke to throw his smoke. He throws his first set of torps out. The guy's clearly turning to avoid those torps, like he knows they're coming. And then he throws the second set of torps right at the guy instead of leading him into the turn. But we all screw up our torps. But he doesn't even take a shot at the Khabarovsk. You know, he wasn't shooting his guns. He was clearly detected. They were shooting at him. You can shoot your guns back, but it is what it is. Our Amagi pretty much through this match. I ain't gonna fault the Lightning because he makes a mistake at the end. I made a mistake as well. Cleveland, if he had pushed up again, like Cleveland can easily destroy an Otago, like not even close. And it's a radar cruiser, so you don't even have to worry about the destroyer. So that Cleveland could have won this match for us. This Amagi, if he had moved up any time sooner than just letting everybody on his team get obliterated, if he had moved up any sooner, and of course his guns aren't even on the right side of his ship. I mean, he's clearly, everybody's on the left side of his ship, but he's going to be putting his guns are still facing the other direction, because that's the type of player he is. But anyway, he's made all of the wrong decisions. The only way we win this is if he can find and kill the Alaska in time. Alaska doing the 100% right thing to do right now, hiding behind this island up here in the spawn, keeping himself from being shot, which means this Amagi, who's clearly loaded, he has not fired his guns. He's loaded, he's got a full salvo ready. All the guns are finally on the right side of the ship, or in this case, the port side of the ship. When he gets a shot at this Atago, he needed to take it, because he's not going to get around the island in time to shoot the Alaska. You can see where the Alaska is on the map. He's hiding directly behind that little island, directly off the bow of the ship. There's no way you're going to get there in time. There's 40 seconds left. And so, when he gets the broadside shot at the Atago, you have to take it. Now, he doesn't fire right away, which is good. That's the good news. He doesn't fire immediately, because the Atago's actually bow tanking slightly. What he wants to do is wait for that Atago to turn. And the Atago gives it to him. He literally turns perfectly and just begs to be deleted. Now, obviously, Kagero over there's launching torps at us. But right now, look at the profile of that Atago. Delete that man! That is a guaranteed deletion if you hit him. But, what do I know? He'd rather sail behind this island, not shoot anything, and then shoot the island because reasons. You know, again, I'm not trying to name and shame. It's all in good fun. It gets frustrating when you see people throw that hard. We did 120,000 damage, top of the leaderboard, 1,500 base XP with a high caliber and a double strike in this one. But yeah, we tried. We can't carry all of the potatoes, but we tried. So if you like what we're doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.